Sir, actually, many people could not attend the Saturday class. Can you uh, just give a like a just recap about what happened on Saturday?
Okay, let me just see where we left last time. Is it visible? Hello?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet, exactly. Now visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So this is where we left last time. How many are there right now?
Sir, 32 or 33, sir.
तो ऐसा तो नहीं है
Including me and
कि
you.
अच्छा ऐसा तो नहीं है कि 30 एक दिन आते हैं, फिर दूसरे 30 दूसरे दिन आते हैं, फिर तीसरे 30 तीसरे दिन आते हैं, तो ऐसे तो काम चलेगा नहीं ना। चलो अच्छा, मैं बैकवर्ड जा रहा हूँ। टेल मी, ये जो था, जो पॉलिसी था, यही बात करनी थी ना, नेशनल पॉलिसी, या उससे पहले ही कुछ बात करनी है? बताओ रिवीजन में। Should I briefly talk about the national policy on IPRs, or should I go for this?
Sir, please, I think you can, from a start, you can just...
From the start?
No, these things has already covered, like before Saturday's class.
Achha, this is before Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So on Saturday, what I covered, in 5-10 minutes, I can just do the briefing of that. Now on Saturday, that
from here, like sir.
In the backdrop of the growing importance of IPRs in the WTO era, that is from 1996 onwards, the 1995 onwards, the government of India realized that we should have a national policy on IPRs, and a committee was set up which drafted the national IPRs policy. In 2016 May, it was implemented. So it took about 1.5 years before that, or 2 years approximately, to evolve this policy. There was a committee, and this was in the wake of China. See, anything in India, we are, we fast react to anything that happens in China, where the two countries are most populous. And in China, something which was at par with India, and they have gone ahead, then we say we should also go ahead. So we are in that sense, our so many decision policies are as a part of the reaction to what China has done. So in China and India were having the same patent filing, but China increased it to 20, 30 times, and India increased it to only much less times. So India is filing 50,000, they are filing, they started filing 5 lakhs patents at that time. So now it is about 15 lakhs. So then we thought we should also do some national policy under the framework of national policy. The IPR awareness will increase, the patent filing will increase, and something useful may come up. So we are in 2014 onwards, we are having a system that government is having several new policies: Creative India, Innovative India, Make in India, Digital India, Smart Cities projects, Skilled India. So capturing the spirit of intellectual property stimulated growth. That means India's economic development and growth should be also stimulated by intellectual property, along with Atmanirbhar Bharat and entrepreneurial things and all that. So this is why this IPR policy was there. These are the 7 key objectives. First important objective is intellectual property awareness, outreach and promotion. Second, generation of IPRs, vibrant innovation ecosystem. Then legal and legislative framework. Then administration and management, commercialization, and enforcement and adjudication, and human capital development. These are the 7 key objectives, and I will just briefly in I think about next 5 minutes or 7 minutes. I'll just summarize it so that we can move ahead. In terms of IP awareness, outreach and promotion, there should be customized programs for micro, small and medium enterprises, startups, research and development institutions, science and technology institutions, and universities and all other institutions. So the customized programs, there have been efforts by the Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises for the startups and other entrepreneurs and other SMEs for creating awareness. And once that awareness is there, then everything else starts. They do something new, but now what they have done new, they will never go for patenting because if they don't know about the patent. So the black box of patent should be made transparent so that they can see through it what is all patenting system. And some of the MSMEs, micro enterprises, small enterprises, without knowing that this is a patented item, they start copying. They do reverse engineering, start making some product and start selling it. Suppose unknowingly they are infringing the patent rights of somebody else. So that company will go to the court of law and ask for damages. Damage means compensation. So when the other company asks for damages, a small entrepreneur was not knowledgeable and not prepared for the facing such cases. He loses. So there are so many penalties he has to pay. So it is also important that awareness would be useful for all micro, small, medium enterprises. That means all, even the middle size, medium size enterprise as well as large enterprises. And in these enterprises, who are the people who should be most aware and most knowledgeable about this concept of IPRs is all engineers and all managers. So then reaching out to less visible and silent IP creators, this is about the grassroots innovators. They do some innovations which are very good, and these good innovations remain good only without going through the patent grant, because they don't know what is a patent, they don't know how this can be patented, how they can protect their rights, and how these invisible innovators, grassroots innovators, they can also make money by licensing it. So the third point was that Indian competence leading to competitive advantage. When this IPR system develops, grows, then Indian companies will compete internationally through the IPR edge and IPR competencies. Then eminent personality should be there as a brand ambassador of the IPRs. That means like some very eminent personality should say, if we are protecting our property, we should also protect our intellectual property. You don't steal somebody's property, so you should not infringe somebody else's intellectual property. So this brand ambassador would convey the message, and that would have a good impact on the masses. So overall awareness will increase in the masses. Then there should be some exhibits and other means. There should be some exhibitions, or there should be exhibits like posters which can be distributed to different schools, colleges, academic institutions, and other public places. Like respect others' intellectual property, like you respect others' property, and you don't steal others' property because you respect others' property. So don't infringe others' property because you should also respect others' private intellectual property. And now some kind of posters can be made and they can be displayed at different places. And they were targeted towards industry and R&D institutions. And there should be a state help for all these things. There should be a Hall of Fame, people who have done a very good innovation. The big picture and that innovation they have done, some details about it can be displayed. Hall of Fame, there is one Hall of Fame for the Nobel laureates. And for the first time, this is known as Nobel Museum. And it is all done in Nobel Prize. The functions are held Nobel Prize in Sweden. So this committee, the Nobel Committee, announces the prize, and then they have a Nobel Prize giving ceremony. So in 2001, for the first time, the Nobel Museum was started in Stockholm, which is the capital of Sweden. And in that, they've got a beautiful system of a conveyor belt at the top of the thing on the ceiling side. on a conveyor belt a big picture of the Nobel laureate, the year of his Nobel Prize and the topic on which he or she was given the Nobel Prize, and the country and the subject, everything is there. So there are different locations. In one, the science, physics is going on. Another, let's say, chemistry. Third is peace, then literature, economics, etc. So different rooms. If I remember correctly, I also went in 2001, a few months after this Nobel Museum was set up. So it is now about 20 years, 19 years. So to the extent I remember, there were 2-3 rooms in which these were displayed on a conveyor belt at the ceiling side of the room. So this is a Hall of Fame, and you can have still pictures. In New York University, they have got still pictures of the the people who brought fame to the university, and their pictures, which are sketched pictures, not the photograph, but sketched. Somebody has sketched them and very well. So this is the Hall of Fame. So very eminent people who are passed out from that university, and those even the faculty members who were part of the university, their pictures are displayed. So that is the meaning of Hall of Fame. They should be very well displayed, and then it will, the purpose of awareness will be spreading very fast. Then the course material should be made in different languages in India. At present, it is in English only, and it is in the IGNOU is offering this course for diploma, and then use of media should be there for awareness creation. Some ad for you should respect others' intellectual property as you respect others' physical possessions or their property. So such kind of ads can be there. With ads can be sponsored. So like 80% of the ad is there on IP protection, and 20% space is given by the sponsored by. So that company's name is there, like Bata India Limited. So there is a Bata advertisement for a good cause. So it is a dual purpose it serves. That is the use of media for awareness creation. Then it can be the second objective is generation of IPRs, and we should do more generation of IPRs. And who will generate IPRs? In particular, pharmaceutical sector is very important. We had seen that how the 1970 Act, the Patent Act 1970, was a landmark, one of the landmark act in India, which gave big boost to the pharmaceutical industry in India, the domestic industry. Otherwise, earlier it was all multinationals working in that field. So we have to develop affordable drugs through generation of IPRs, patenting, innovations, and all that. Then there can be open source based research, an IP facilitation center in the industry, and university innovative clusters. So some universities can have one IPR cell or IPR center, because every university, the total IP activity is not so much that a full-time person can be engaged. But those who can afford, they should have full-time IP knowledgeable person to facilitate IP activities in the university or IIT or IIM or any institution, or where the activity is very less to a very low degree. Then some of the universities together can have jointly on consortium basis, they can have somebody employed for facilitating IP awareness, creation, maintenance, and all aspects of intellectual property for filing to protection, including awareness. In the large corporates, they are already doing it. They are all aware of it. There should be a good support system. So the support system for micro, small, and medium enterprises has been set up and is being set up. The industry associations like FICCI, CIA, they are also setting up PFCs, that is Patent Facilitation Centers, which are largely financed by the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises, which will be useful for the startups. Startups will also generate IPs and should use others' IP and make new products, use new innovations, new inventions, where the competition is less. in the existing products, the competition is very high. There, you know, types of products where the mm, the competition is so much that the profit margins have thinned out. They're very low profit margins, and or practically zero profit margin. About 18, 19 years back, I conducted a management development program (MDP) for the um, industry, and in that there was an entrepreneur who was from the fan industry, ceiling fan. So we were talking something, and he said, "Sir, we can. All this thing is not possible. What you are selling is all theory, because the truth is that we have zero profit." Then I asked, if you have zero profit, why do you continue in this business? Like, the only margin we have is the tax evasion, kar chori. That is the amount of tax which is there. We don't pay the tax. We sell everything in number two without any billing, without tax, without at that time GST was not there. It was sales tax. So we sell it without any sales tax. VAT was also not there. So he says this is the only income we earn out of it. So if we go for legally perfect system, then we have zero or negative profit. So it should be that these MSMEs should have producing. They should produce a good where the competition is less. Innovative products should be produced. Okay, I think I showed you many products earlier. A simple sharpener which is sold in 2 rupees. In 2 rupees, what is the profit margin? 40 paisa, 50 paisa, not more than that. But if a sharpener manufacturer sells a sharpener which has a cover for the peel of the pencil, and that cover is in the shape of a sphere, and the sphere is outside its world's map is there, so that he can sell it in 25 or 30 rupees, and if he sells in 30 rupees, his margin will be 10 rupees. So instead of 50 paisa margin, he will have 10 rupees margin on one sharpener, and small children will give in their return gift on the birthdays, that something which is very new and attractive. The match is going with the West Indies India cricket match. Now you have to locate where is West Indies, which are the countries in the West Indies. West Indies, is it a country or is it a cluster of countries? So many things are there. So it can have some educational value as well as high profit margin for the person who is manufacturing and selling the sharpeners, because he has done some value addition, incorporating some intellectual property in this. So then there should be incentive for green technologies, traditional knowledge, digital library, geographical indications, industrial designs, information communication technologies. In all these things, there should be various of, and their international system which should be followed, and we should become signatories to the international treaties, and there should be increase in domestic filing. So in 1970s, we had 1800 filing, early 70s, which declined to about 1200 filing, but then it increased in the last year to about 50,000, 51,000, 50,000 patent filing in the country. And approximately little more than half of these are foreign patent filing, because India is a big country. So many companies want to have protection to their patents in India, because they know that in India anybody uses their technology, which is a patented one, which is anybody can use it if it is not patented in India. So India would do it more so because our own population is so much, and in each segment the population is so much that any manufacturer, any producer, any entrepreneur producing the goods for the Indian market would have so much of large volume of production for the Indian population only. So most of the companies internationally, they are interested in filing a patent application of their very successful commercially worthy patents. So they file these applications in India, so that anybody who wants to make use of that patent information will have to take the license from the patent holder. So this is something which is very important. and more than 50% are the foreign filings. We call it non-resident patent filing. So Indian domestic filing is known as a resident patent filing. You can now note on these two words: resident patent filing and non-resident patent filing. So patents which are filed in India by Indian companies, by Indians, that is a resident filing. So even a foreign company which is operating in India, if it is a registered company in India, it is known as Indian company, and if they file a patent, it is the Indian patent. But if suppose an R&D office of IBM is working in India, they complete the they before filing the patent, this their innovation or invention goes to their headquarters in USA, and they want to file a patent there first and then in India, then it will be a foreign patent, although the entire research was done in the R&D lab in India. So there is some technical difference. And if you want anything which is not clear after what I talk to you, then you can please feel free to ask. You can stop me at any point of time. Okay.
Sir, I had a question, like why foreign companies needed to patent in India? Like they can patent in WHO, like.
No, WHO, World Health Organization.
No, WTO.
WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO.
Okay.
Or WTO, what are you saying?
WTO, yeah.
No, WTO is not a patent filing body.
Okay.
Okay.
So
WTO
is
is
there,
world. That is it.
is there no patent
That
filing?
is the international international trading, international trade facilitation body,
Yes,
which
sir.
has strong teeth. It can suppose some country says we don't allow somebody's exports in India. So since they are a member of WTO, that country will go to WTO and file a complaint against India that they are not allowing import of my product. Then there will be hearing. India's representatives will go in that WTO meeting. WTO means that particular appeal meeting, and then in that these people, India will say why we are not allowing the patent, why we are not allowing the imports from that country. We'll give some argument because they have stopped it, or we are not allowing. Then that country say it is not true, or whatever the two countries argue. Then whatever the verdict, that will be applicable. And also there is an appellant body where you can go for appeal. So in this first body, if suppose India has lost, then we can go to appeal. And in the appeal again, like Supreme Court and the like district civil courts to High Court and High Court to Supreme Court. So in the appellant body is the final body, and the appellant body they have to decide something. So if they say ki India cannot put restrictions on the import of any such product from this country, so India will have to open it up. India will have to allow the import from that country of that particular product. Okay, it is export, import, trading, international trading. WTO is all about international trading, nothing to do with patents. Okay.
Okay,
So,
sir. Sir,
probably
is there like organization for the patents, sir?
No, there is no such organization. Okay.
So for every innovation, you have to patent in every country.
Yes, in all those countries where you want the protection.
Yes.
Okay. Suppose just I give a very small example. That normal big umbrella and a push button umbrella. You push a button, then umbrella opens up. You all of us are aware nowadays, है ना? So
Yes.
this invention was first patented in Japan. At that time, any Indian company, suppose, I'm using the word suppose because I have not gone through those old documents, but in 1950s or 60s, suppose this was patented in Japan and they were making such umbrellas in Japan. They filed a patent application of this invention in USA, UK, and other countries, but not in India. In that case, any Indian manufacturer could start producing that kind of umbrella in India because they had no patent in India of that push button umbrella. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want protection in a particular country, you have to file your patent application in that country. Okay. This is very important.
Yes, sir.
So then we had to, we started our patent filing after WTO came up, the patent filing increased. Now it is about 50,000 plus in India, and China is about 15 lakhs. Last year declined a little bit, but year before last was 15 plus lakhs. Okay, so we are half
Sir-
lakh. We are half lakh. They are 15 lakhs. So we are, they are 30 times more than us. 30 times. 30
Sir,
times.
why is
yeah.
it so like
Because,
China is
because I tell you that China government decides that this is good for the country, and they implement. Nothing will come in their way of implementing anything which is good for the country. In India, I don't know why there is the people who are not in the ruling party, they are known as opposition parties, as if their main role is opposition, and they do that only. They start opposing. That doesn't happen in USA. I'm sure some of you must be having some, keeping track of what happens in the US Senate and the Congress. The ruling party, suppose the Democrat has got their president, so sometimes he may lose the particular resolution in the Senate despite the majority, because not all of them they are saying intellectually we feel that this is not a right thing, so they will not vote for any proposal brought by their own party. So, but in India, the opposition party will oppose whatever the ruling party does. And you have seen this thing time and again in past 5-10 years. No? So,
yes, sir.
so we should follow the system. We should do for it. China, if you say anything against the state, you may be imprisoned, you may be executed, and there is a summary trial of 1 week. For most of the cases, they settle the issue in 2 weeks. For most of the thing, and in 2 weeks, this is a wrong thing, and this has a penalty of death. So he is executed. Okay, shoot him. So in India, you go to the lower court, it will take 10, 15, 20 years. So a person who did something wrong, he was 25, now he is 45. Then he goes to the high court. It will take 15 years, so he becomes 60 years. Then he may go again to the Supreme Court. So in 15 years or 20 years, Supreme Court, he will be 80 years old. So when he get a punishment, he is 80. When he did the crime, he was 25. So this is the Indian judiciary system. And presently, the judiciary is also running the administration by and large in many matters.
Yes.
Main administrative policy decision is by judiciary. So, and judiciary is, maybe at the top level, it is good, but you go at the lower level, the corruption in judiciary is rampant. One of the most highest corruption is in the judiciary. Suppose somebody is found taking a bribe of 500 rupees or 5,000 rupees, they will put him behind bars for 3 months. But what 99% of them are equally corrupt. So what will happen to them? So, it's a very big paradoxical situation in India, but this is not the case in China. So China, the biggest reason of their success is that they may kill a million people, but they say that country's interest is important. We say that a million people who have done something wrong, they have to follow a democratic process. So people have less discouragement from doing anything wrong. So these are some other political issues were there, but so we don't compare with China. See, in China and India difference. I told you about this WIPO. They started Worldwide Academy in 1999, and they picked me up as one of their tutors in the International IP Diploma Intellectual Property Certificate programs, DL 101. I told you just in the previous slide. So I was tutor for many years for this course, and they asked me, "Can you do it?" I say, "I can't do it. You do it through the IGNOU. Because IGNOU has the wherewithal for conducting the courses all over the country. They have got a complete machinery to give the course material. In those days, the internet was so new. So in early in 99, 2000, So it was not possible. People didn't have the laptop, people didn't have PCs, and country situation was much different than what it is today. At that time, only a few percent students had their own laptop. A few percent. Now, almost 99.9% people have their own laptop among the students in engineering, management, and higher education system. So the systems were quite different in those days. So I told you it will be something which IGNOU can do it. The ministry asked IIT Delhi to start advanced IP education center. So the director of IIT said we have no space to give it for the center. IIT Delhi could have taken a very important, role in this thing, and IIT Delhi could become the leader because IIT Delhi initiated IPR education at IIT Delhi platform uh, in early 90s. So among all IITs, even most of the IITs don't have faculty on IPR even today. 90% of the IITs don't have faculty on IPR today, till today. So if we had something, we should have made advantage of it. But it was not done. It was not allowed to be done, and IIT Delhi could not take the lead role. What it could have taken. So many things. It was all individual effort based. Whatever effort I made, it could be possible, but it was not support of IIT Delhi. So people individually you can do something, but from the national interest point of view, the whole country, the top management of the country, then the all UGC, then all IITs, all NITs, all these directors and principals, whatever it is, vice chancellor, all these people should think in the same line. What is right, what is wrong. Okay, only two things: what is right for the country, what is not right for the country, and anything else is not possible. So here, what Prime Minister wants, it like open defecation free country, we made it. But what about the littering? In the markets, you go anywhere, so much garbage is there on the roads. So PWDs and other, other departments, Jal Nigam and water, this telephone department, they dig up the roads and the roads remain like that. They don't restore the road in their original condition. Is there any penalty on anyone? You do it once in China, you will be behind the bars for 5 years or 10 years. You have to restore the road in the same condition when you dig it up. You started digging it up. So China, you go to Beijing, very neat and clean city. Go to Delhi, you go to different, when you go in a car, you find Delhi is a clean city because you drive on through the big roads. But when you go to the small place, you go to Connaught Place, which is the prime place. You go to one of these mark, Kasturba Gandhi Marg, Babakar Singh Marg. So many, hawkers are there. So many street vendors are there. Look around them. Go at 1 o'clock. How dirty they are. So here the different system operates. So now the legal system, whatever the
Sir, one
IPL.
question.
Yeah, please.
Sir, one question. Sir, like you said that umbrella case, like Japan has got the patent in USA. But suppose somebody is importing that material from other country where there is no patent. So how is that? There is a law in that, or no, it's he can go ahead with that?
Say all IPR laws are territorial in nature. Okay. So if I understood your question, suppose there was a patent in USA, and that means that nobody else could produce that push button umbrella in USA without getting
Correct.
a license from the company which had filed the patent in USA on push button umbrella. Okay.
Yes, 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 sir.
Now, if you recall in the beginning, that parallel importation, when I talked to you about, in that concept, I told you that in USA, even earlier, they did not allow parallel importation. That means if you are making the product in India or Nepal, where that product is, that patent is not, that invention is not patented. Okay, so you could produce and you could sell in your own country in India, but in USA you could not export. USA had that law. That means they did not allow parallel importation. But large number of countries, they said that the patent means that nobody else can produce the product without the patent holder's license. So you have to, if you want to produce something which is a patented thing under patent, then you have to take a license from patent holder. He gives you a license, then only you could produce it. Okay.
Okay.
But any
Okay.
trader could import it.
Okay. Okay. And then second question is, can an individual get a patent, and how difficult is it to protect against the corporate? Suppose they have the individual has one patent.
No, it is the same system, whether it is individual patent or company's patent. System is the same. Okay, there is no distinction.
Okay.
There is a distinction between a large company, okay, and a small enterprise. There are in fact 4 or 5 categories. I will just come to that a little while today itself, where you know that the patent filing fee for a small unit, micro, small, medium enterprises and individuals is lower. Okay, for large it is much higher. Okay, I'll show you the table also.
So that is only in case of fees. Other laws
Fees.
are same.
No,
Yes.
everything else is same. Everything else is same. It is only the fees. Okay.
Sir. Yes, sir. Got it.
So this is about the legal framework should be strong, and then the third was the administration management. The overall IPR management system in India was not so cohesive. The Copyright Office was with the Ministry of HRD, or now with the Ministry of Education, and the main patents etc. were with the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. So the Copyright Office was shifted from Ministry of HRD to the Ministry of Commerce, to Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, which was the dealing department for IPRs. And similarly, the integrated circuit layout was being handled by the Ministry of Information and Technology, Department of Electronics and Information Technology. DIT is Department of Electronics and Industrial Technology, Electroniki Niketan. In the Lodi office complex, there is one building which is Electronic Niketan, where the minister, the secretary, and all people sit there in the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Y is for technology, GY. So that is DIT. That was also shifted from that Ministry of Information Technology to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So all these things are under one umbrella. That is, they came to DIPP, and now DIPP's name was changed to DPIIT. Let me put it here only. Okay. The DPIIT is Department for Promotion of in Industry and Internal Trade. Okay. The name is does not indicate anywhere IPR or patent, but that's the way it is. Now, so we have to have all these things: manpower, collaboration, all these things, bilateral, and commercialization. We should go for commercialization of IPR. If you have a patent and if it is not commercialized, it is of no value. You can only count in number. Okay, we have got 50,000 patents. So patenting is something meant for not only protection but also commercialization. So when you go for commercialization of patents, that is important, and for that a body called CPAM. This again I can call it. So the CPAM is the Center for Intellectual Property Management. Okay, so the cell has been opened in the DPIIT under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and their role is only to everything, the total IPR policy implementation is to be done by CPAM. All these seven objectives, how to do it, it is all under the domain of CPAM. This is the body which has been created. It is an autonomous independent body. People who are employed here are all consultants. They are not permanent government employees. They are all consultants at a 5-year contract basis. So otherwise the government may, because there is a ban on employment in the government, you cannot create any additional post. It goes for the approval of the Ministry of Finance, which will not be given by the Ministry of Finance. So a body has been created where there is no permanent government job. They are all given a 5-year contract job for this CPAM. So this is the platform as facilitator, study for feasibility of an IPR exchange, and IP database equipment equipped with market analysis, funding and intermediaries. So IP database should be created and all these things. Then motion of technology transfer, the licensing can be the contractual and licensing guidelines they have to develop. There is a concept of patent pooling. We'll discuss it. That is, some companies join together and use each other's patents without paying any, without applying for any technology transfer or licensing from each other. So they consider as joint property as far as their own use is concerned. Joint property can be used by them, but cannot be sold by them to anyone else. Okay, so it is a mutual sharing of, which is like this. Suppose 4 neighbors are there, they have a pool of a car. So they use the car in a pool manner. And this is that, some friend who live in some same locality, they go 25, 30 kilometers away for their office, which are also in the neighborhood. So they go with a pooling of the car. So one day one person will take, second day second person, third day third person, fourth person, fifth day fifth person. So each person drives his car once a week, and they can do, carpooling. So many such things are there. Then enforcement and adjudication. In this, you have to create value of IP and respect for IPR culture by explaining, demonstration the ills of counterfeit and at all other levels, including e-commerce. So what happens in e-commerce? You produce a product here and you send it to someone. It is not going in that way that you don't have to pay the taxes. It has been there for long. That no taxes are paid. If state you you send through the parcel or something to someone. So there are so many such issues. So they are need to be tackled, and the enforcement mechanism should be standard. Then facilitate effective education of IP. There should be commercial courts at appropriate level. We will look into the IP matter. At present, the IP knowledge is not so much among the judiciary. They should have special courts for IPRs and alternate dispute resolutions. So if there is any IPR dispute, it should be the trademark disputes can be settled by the common sense, but patent disputes cannot be settled by common sense. Okay, patent has something more to do with the technology. Then human capital development, there should be strengthen the human capital resources. For that, strengthening Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property and Management. You can write down the full form. Rajiv Gandhi National Institute for IP Management, Intellectual Property Management. That is at Nagpur. And then IPR professional chairs are there. These chairs were given to all IITs and IIMs, old IITs, old IIMs, and some other institutions in the country, some universities also. So that system is still continuing. I was IPR chair professor in IIT Delhi for 5 years, and then introduced multidisciplinary IP courses for judicial academies, for national academies of administration at Mussoorie, like Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy of Administration, Mussoorie, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Academy for Police in Hyderabad, Customs Academy, and all these, and progressively introduce IP at school and college level. Now the nodal agency is at that time was DIPP. 3 years back, the name was modified to DPIIT, and that's the Department of Policy for Industry and Internal Trade. Now this is last time I talked to you about this thing. Then I remove this thing. These are the goals of IPR system. The national development. How, tell me, anyone, I would like it to be more participative in nature. How the national development is related to IPR system? How IPR system is related to national development? Please tell me.
Sir, more IPR means more foreign direct investment, and in this way it can contribute to the development of India.
If the IPR system, IPR system includes enforcement of IPRs. If the enforcement of IPRs is strong, it will attract all MNCs. So MNCs are spending billions of dollars on research and development. So they would be interested in your country if your IPR enforcement system is good, and if the judiciary also does not take care of the IPR enforcement, then they will not come to that country at all. Because they don't want to be cheated by people in terms of infringement of their IPRs. So they don't want to work in those countries where IPR enforcement is not good. If IPR enforcement system is good, that will lead to national development through FDI route. Then active partner in global trade, the IPR system will enable you to be active partner in global trade, because more IPRs, more patents, more IPRs means it will give you a cost advantage and competitive advantage. Okay. Then.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So when we have IPR in terms of products is a little more smoother than in terms of services. Like when I have thought of, or somebody comes up with a new idea, particularly of a service, how does he or she know, gets to know or confirms that this is not already existing, and so this is his unique product and he can go and file a patent? Is there a way to check, like with names of companies, you can check this name is not existing, I can take this name? Is
Good
there
question.
a way to
Good
check?
question. Good question. But unfortunately, services are not patented. Okay. The innovation is for, innovation means invention. Services are not invented. Okay.
Services in the way somebody comes with a new way of doing something which increases the yield, or which increases the nature of a particular locality, which is otherwise poor parameters are there. He introduces that part as social reform or socio-economic reform, and that thing works out in the favor of the community. So that is
it is not patentable. Whatever you do, unless it is an invention, invention is only patentable. Okay. Anything which is in the category of invention is patentable. Okay. And if you develop a model, publish a paper that how India can become a developed country, you can write a book, you can publish a paper, that will be copyrighted. Okay. So you can express your opinion when you write a novel or a book, something, your expression of something. Okay, it is written expression of your what is in your mind. So such things, what is in your mind, when you express them in a written manner, okay, then it is copyrighted. Even it can be presented through drama. वो जो होता है ना क्या बोलते हैं उसको स्ट्रीट क्या होता है जो स्ट्रीट प्लेज
नुक्कड़ नाटक
हाँ, नुक्कड़ नाटक और स्ट्रीट प्लेज, इस तरह के कहीं पर भी आपने जो उसको किया उसके ऊपर आपको कॉपीराइट हो जाएगा, है ना, इन्वेंशन नहीं होगा वो। तो इन्वेंशन जो होगा वो पेटेंट होगा, और इसका प्रोटोटाइप होगा या नहीं भी होगा प्रोटोटाइप, बट you are sure that if one follows this process given by you, then it will lead to something new. Okay.
No, it leads something to some betterment of that particular region or community.
No,
maybe ecologically, maybe socially.
It may or may not be useful to the community. Suppose you know, like just take an example of a screwdriver, है ना? Screwdriver we all tighten the screws, है ना? Now there is a nut and bolt system also there. In the screw there is a cut where you put the screwdriver and rotate the nail. Screwdriver is almost a nail, है ना? With the grooves there in front of it instead of a straight cylindrical thing. A nail is a pointed cylindrical metallic this thing piece with a top is flat, but other side is a pen for penetration is because very thin. If I describe it that way, nail. Screw is that you can you can hammer it out, but also you can do the clockwise screwing it. Okay. Now the nut and bolt, there is no cut. Okay, like a screw. You know nut and bolt?
Yes, sir.
So now for nut and bolt, there is an invention that electrically you hold this thing, and when if you have seen any automobile company, Maruti or any other car or motorcycle manufacturing company, in the conveyor belt there is a person who has got so many sizes of this thing, gadgets who are hanging around, and he will take one and tighten the bolt. Okay. Now this is not for individuals in the community. It is totally industrial invention. Okay. That electric nut bolt tightening machine. So this was the invention. Earlier it was done manually. When you go for a repair of this thing, so many nut and bolt are there in the car also. So this motor mechanic will do it, manually. वो स्पैनर होता है ना, स्पैनर से आप करते हैं उसको.
Yes, sir.
तो जो स्पैनर से करते हैं वो मैनुअली तो होता था, और वो ऊपर से हैंग करके इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के सपोर्ट से वो इलेक्ट्रिकल हो गया. दैट इज एन इन्वेंशन. ओके, बिकॉज दैट गोज वेरी फास्ट. एंड इन द असेंबली लाइन सिस्टम ऑफ एनी कार मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और मोटरसाइकिल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, इन द असेंबली लाइन what a person would have taken half an hour will take only 5 minutes, because he doesn't have to do anything physically and body. He doesn't have to bend here and there for tightening it. By electrical system, it is getting tightened automatically to the extent it should be. Okay, so the product quality is more standardized, and it is an invention. So it need not necessarily be for the community as such. It can be invention, can be even for the industry, but it should be invention for getting patented. Okay, some invention you have done, and somebody asked me on day one, I have an idea, can I do the invention? No. If you have got an idea, that you sit on your chair, and the chair will get covered. You push a button, the chair gets covered by the thing with adequate oxygen, and you push another button in the open garden, it will reach the moon in just 5 minutes. This is your idea. So you can write a good science fiction. Okay, but unless you invent the machine which will do like this, it cannot be patented. So ideas are not patentable. Okay. Ideas cannot be patented. It is the actual invention which is patentable. Okay. It is very important, because the clarity in all these things is a must. Okay, what is invention and what are other IPRs? Okay.
So sir, like only designs and like processes can be patented, like?
No, patent can be of a product or technology or process. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Uh,
Himanshu this side, sir. I'm the founder of an IT Delhi startup actually, and our startup is actually going to be registered in a couple of weeks. Actually, like the question is precisely is not actually based on the IP actually, but actually, sir, we since we are registering our startup, I just want to know like in which type we should register, whether it should be a LLP or a private company. Like so, उसमें confusion था. If you can.
I'll tell you. Okay, it is not related to this course, but I'll tell you otherwise. See, in IIT, you are going to go for incubation IIT.
Yes, sir.
So the best of earlier days when LLP system was not there, that time you had to necessarily have a private limited company. Okay. Achha, now since the LLP system has come in the in India, it came in about I think 8-9 years back. So since then, or maybe 10 years back, since then you can form an LLP and start an enterprise, no problem. But IIT Delhi Incubation Center, DBIC, does it accept? If it accepts that, then you should go for LLP. Okay.
Well, we were actually told that if you are a registered startup, then you will have a much better chances of getting incubated in the FITT actually. So that's why we were
private limited company. Okay.
Can you repeat that?
IIT Delhi will give preference for your startup for incubation purpose if it is a registered private limited company. Suppose there are two applicants. One is private limited company. Other is LLP. And IIT will give preference to private limited company. And there are many more advantages of private limited company. Okay, so those advantages you will have if you register as a LLP. Oh, sorry, if you go for forming a private limited company, then there are so many advantages are there.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for clarification.
So on this, I would like to say something.
So what is LLP?
Limited liability partnership. जस्ट मैंने आप जो पूछ रहे हैं उससे पहले मैं क्लैरिफाई कर दूं because there are so many people. See, you have gotten a proprietorship firm. All shops, IIT Delhi campus में shops हैं, they are all proprietorship. एक proprietor है उस shop का, ठीक है? तो जो shop है उसका उसका जो income होता है और जो आपका इनकम है, आप उसमें कहते हैं शॉप की इनकम थी, उसकी प्रॉफिट हुआ 1 साल का 10 लाख रुपए, तो 10 लाख रुपए से मैंने 4 लाख रुपए सैलरी ले ली, तो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं होता। प्रोप्राइटरशिप में जो आपकी फर्म है, बिजनेस एंटिटी है और आप हैं, एक ही एंटिटी मानी जाती है प्रोप्राइटरशिप में। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंस ये है। और दोनों की इनकम एक ही इनकम है, उसके ऊपर आपको इनकम टैक्स देना है, ठीक? ये हो गया प्रोप्राइटरशिप। पार्टनरशिप में होता है कि 2 से 20 पार्टनर्स हो सकते हैं उस कंपनी के। ओके, एनीवेयर 2 अप टू 20 पार्टनर्स हो सकते हैं, और जितने ज्यादा पार्टनर उतना केओस ज्यादा होता है। तो नॉर्मली 2 या 3 या 4 पार्टनर्स होते हैं किसी कंपनी में, तो वो जो होता है उनकी भी इनकम, जो सारी इनकम है उनकी पर्सनल इनकम और कंपनी इनकम सब मिला के होती है, तो उसके ऊपर उनको इनकम टैक्स देना है। इसमें फर्क ये होता है कि जो पार्टनर्स होते हैं उनका जो किसने कितना पैसा लगाया और किसको कितना प्रॉफिट मिलेगा और कौन कितना काम करेगा, ये सब चीजें एक एग्रीमेंट में डिसाइड करते हैं। उसमें होता है कि एक आदमी को बहुत पैसा है उसके पास में, पर उसके पास टाइम नहीं है, वो काम नहीं करेगा, पैसा लगा देगा, तो कहता है कि मैं 50% का पार्टनर हूँ, पैसा मेरा है। आपके पास में बाकी सारी चीजें हैं, आपके पास में मतलब एनर्जी है, आइडियाज हैं, कंपनी को प्रॉफिटेबल चलाने की काबिलियत है, आप उसको कहते हैं कि आई विल रन द कंपनी एंड माय पार्टनरशिप इज 50%, है ना? तो जो आपने टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन में लिखा है वही माना जाएगा। बट अगर जो प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप कंपनी और प्रोप्राइटरशिप कंपनी दोनों में जो लायबिलिटी है दैट इज अनलिमिटेड। मतलब है कि आपकी जो प्रोप्राइटरशिप फर्म है, आपने उसमें एक 10 लाख रुपए का सामान रखा हुआ है, उसमें आग लग गई, तो इंश्योरेंस नहीं कराया था तो 10 लाख रुपए आपने किसी से बोरो किए थे, तो जो जैसे बोरो किए थे वो आपसे 10 लाख रुपए लेगा, तो वो चले जाएगा आपके कोर्ट में कि भाई आपके पास में घर है, 10 लाख रुपए घर है, उसको नीलाम कर देंगे और उससे हमारे को पैसा दो आप। तो प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, ये सॉरी, प्रोप्राइटरशिप में भी और जो आपका पार्टनरशिप फर्म है, दोनों में एक ही रूल लागू करता है। इनकी लायबिलिटी जो होती है वो अनलिमिटेड होती है। आपके घर के ज्वेलरी है, घर की जो प्रॉपर्टी है, आपके जो मतलब जो भी चीजें हैं, बर्तन, लोग मूवीज में दिखाते हैं ना कि वो सड़क पे आ गया, तो वो वही वाली कंपनीज थी जिनका की प्रॉपर्टीशिप थी, कंपनी बिकी तो उनका घर भी बिक गया, क्योंकि उनके पास में और कुछ था नहीं एसेट्स, है ना। पर्सनल एसेट भी सारे खत्म हो जाएंगे आपके, आपकी कार भी चली जाएगी, आप घर चले जाए, कार चली जाएगी, ज्वेलरी चली जाएगी, सब चला जाएगा। और इसलिए क्या होता है कि जो लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी, पार्टनरशिप की लायबिलिटी लिमिटेड है। आपकी जो फर्म है उसके पास में मान लीजिए 1 करोड़ का एसेट्स हैं और आपके पास में 10 करोड़ का एसेट्स हैं पर्सनल, तो जो आपने लोन लिया कुछ भी हुआ तो लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी, तो लायबिलिटी उसकी लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी, पार्टनरशिप की लायबिलिटी लिमिटेड टू द फर्म्स एसेट्स, वो आपके पर्सनल एसेट्स तक उसकी अनलिमिटेड नहीं है, लायबिलिटी इज लिमिटेड। तो इसलिए एलएलपी केम इनटू बीइंग एज अ सिस्टम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ पार्टनरशिप व्हिच इज हैविंग लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप, लायबिलिटी लिमिटेड है। आपके पर्सनल, आपके पास 10 करोड़, उसको कोई नहीं कुछ टच कर सकता, ठीक है। और प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी होती थी पहले, वो पार्टनरशिप के ऊपर होती है। प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी में वर्ड आ जाता है लिमिटेड, दैट मींस लायबिलिटी ऑफ द कंपनी इज लिमिटेड टू द एसेट्स ऑफ द कंपनी, एंड द पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनी की जो लायबिलिटी है दैट इज आल्सो लिमिटेड टू द एसेट्स ऑफ द पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनी। और प्राइवेट लिमिटेड पब्लिक लिमिटेड का जो फर्क है वो ये है कि प्राइवेट लिमिटेड में यू आर द ओनर प्रोमोटर, सारे शेयर आपके हैं अपने प्राइवेट लिमिटेड में। और अगर आपने 5 शेयर होल्डर, 10 शेयर होल्डर से आपने कहा कि सब लोग चलो 50-50 लाख रुपए लगा दो, 5 जने, 10 जने, 15 जने, 20 जने, तो वो हो गया पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनी, ठीक है। आर यू विद मी ऑन दिस? पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनी। और पब्लिक लिमिटेड कंपनी जब ग्रो करती है, आपका है कि 10-15-20 करोड़ की हो गई, अब आपको चाहिए 500 करोड़ रुपीज। जैसे ये क्या नाम है इसका, जो अपना ओला और ये है ना, दूसरा वाला क्या है जो अग्रवाल है, क्या नाम है?
जोमेटो सर।
नहीं, जोमेटो नहीं, दूसरा ही पंजाब वाला है ना, क्या नाम है अग्रवाल का, ये ओला उसी का ही तो है। हाँ, उसी की बात कर रहा था मैं, ओला।
हाँ,
भावेश अग्रवाल सर,
हाँ, भवेश,
अग्रवाल।
हाँ। तो भवेश जो है,
भावेश अग्रवाल,
अब वो कह रहा है कि he wants to raise to $2 billion वैल्यूएशन हो जाएगा, पर he is raising पता नहीं कितने, कुछ हजार करोड़ रुपए वो कर रहा है। जोमेटो ने अभी 30,000 करोड़ का वो निकाला आईपीओ। तो अगर आपको अपने ऑपरेशन को एक्सपेंड करना है और आपको उसमें हजारों करोड़ रुपए चाहिए, तो आपको कोई इंडिविजुअल तो दे नहीं सकता, तो देन यू गो पब्लिक। और फर्स्ट टाइम जब आप पब्लिक से इक्विटी मांगते हैं तो नोन एज आईपीओ, इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफर। तो इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफर में आपको इंडिया में करोड़ों लोग ले लेंगे आपके शेयर, किसी ने 5,000 का लेके 10,000 का, किसी ने 50,000 रुपए का, तो 10, 20, 25, 50,000 रुपए कोई भी आदमी अफोर्ड कर लेगा। तो आपके मान लीजिए शेयर होल्डर आपके पास में हो गए 5 लाख शेयर होल्डर हो गए, और हर शेयर होल्डर ने आपको 10,000 रुपए का दिया, तो आपके 50 करोड़ रुपए हो गए, 100 करोड़, मतलब ऐसे कि यू कैन रेज पब्लिक मनी, ठीक है। तो ये इनका डिफरेंसेस हैं, ये एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की पहली क्लास में पहले ही दिन बताई जाती हैं सारी चीजें, ठीक है। अच्छा, नाउ कैन आई कम बैक टू आवर दिस थिंग आईपीआर? यस और नो?
ओके सर।
तो जो हमारी 3 बातें हुई थी
Yes,
उसमें कि प्रोडक्ट, प्रोसेस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है। प्रोडक्ट जैसे पुश बटन अम्ब्रेला है, ठीक। आपका जो लॉक है, पहले आपके पास में ताला चाबी वाला होता था, पैडलॉक। फिर आपने कहा कि दरवाजे के अंदर आपको इतना बड़ा लॉक नहीं लगाना, आपने दरवाजे के अंदर एक की होल लगाया और दरवाजे की जो विड्थ है उसमें ही उस लॉक को कट करके अंदर फिक्स कर दिया और स्क्रू लगा के बंद कर दिया। तो यू हैव गॉट ओनली 1 की, और इस की से आपने ताला खोला, तो लॉक इज इनबिल्ट, फिजिकली नोबडी कैन टेक अवे द लॉक, ठीक है, ताला तोड़ने की उसमें वो ही नहीं है। यू कैन हैव ओनली मास्टर की और डुप्लीकेट की, बट लॉक इज नॉट ब्रोकन। ठीक है, तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट है जो कि आईआईटी के सारे दरवाजों में ज्यादातर में लगे हुए हैं कि आपके पास एक ताली है और ताला जो है दरवाजे के अंदर ही कट करके उसमें घुसाया हुआ है उन्होंने, जो कि आपको दिखता ही नहीं है ताला। ठीक है, तो अच्छा, देन एक फर्दर इन्वेंशन हुआ कि गोदरेज का एक माइक्रो, क्या बोलते हैं, माइक्रो समथिंग है, माइक्रो 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 लॉक आता है, माइक्रो का कुछ एक और वर्ड है, जो गोदरेज का है उसमें जो तालियां होती हैं ना, उसकी की जो है वो उसमें जो की है दैट इज ए मेटालिक लॉन्ग वन, और उसमें जो गड्ढे गड्ढे से किए हुए उन्होंने। ठीक है, तो उसमें जो कट होता है ना, जो नॉर्मल जो ताले होते हैं उनमें कट होता है, ताली के जितने लीवर होते हैं, 4 लीवर, 5 लीवर, 6 लीवर, 7 लीवर लॉक, तो वो सिस्टम होता है। तो ये वाला सिस्टम है, इसका जो है इट इज मच मोर सेफ। ये वाला जो ताला होता है गोदरेज का, और भी कंपनियों के आते होंगे पर गोदरेज इनिशिएटेड इट। इसका कॉन्सेप्ट ही डिफरेंट है लॉक ताली का, इट इज अनदर इन्वेंशन। फिर आपके इलेक्ट्रॉनिक लॉकिंग सिस्टम आ गया, फिर सेंट्रल लॉकिंग सिस्टम आ गया। तो इतने सारे तरीके, तो ये तो है कि आपके कि अब जो लॉकिंग सिस्टम है, जैसे कि एक बटन होता है जो ड्राइवर की सीट पे होता है कार में, उसको आप ऊपर पुल कर लेते हो तो सारे दरवाजे खुल जाते हैं चारों। होता है या नहीं होता? एक
Yes,
नॉब,
sir.
एक नॉब को आपने ऊपर किया, सारे दरवाजे खुले, उसे नीचे प्रेस कर दिया, सारे दरवाजे बंद हो गए। तो ये जो है इट इज सिस्टम, लॉकिंग सिस्टम। ये जो इस तरह का जो सेंट्रल लॉकिंग सिस्टम है, इट इज एन इन्वेंशन। तो ये सिस्टम है जिसकी टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप की आपने और उसको पेटेंट कर दिया कि आप इस तरह करेंगे आप तो हो जाएगा। तो इट इज नॉट अ फिजिकल प्रोडक्ट लाइक पुश बटन अम्ब्रेला। और पुश बटन अम्ब्रेला में भी आपका जो है उसमें जो जो पुश बटन का सिस्टम है उसका पेटेंट होता है। ठीक है, अम्ब्रेला का पेटेंट नहीं है। अम्ब्रेला तो पहले भी थी और बाद में भी है और रहेगी। तो आपने कि अम्ब्रेला को जो योर टेक्नोलॉजी यू हैव डेवलप्ड इज द ओपनिंग ऑफ एन अम्ब्रेला थ्रू ए बटन विच यू हैव टू पुश। ओके, तो वो टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप किया आपने, उसका पेटेंट होता है। और इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, इट इज इनटेंजिबल, यू कैन नॉट टच। इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी को टच नहीं कर सकते, देख नहीं सकते, उसकी एप्लीकेशन से जो प्रोडक्ट बना है उसको देख सकते हो आप। ठीक है, अच्छा, कुछ आपने जो बनाया है, कुछ प्रोडक्ट भी बन सकते हैं, तो प्रोडक्ट का भी इन्वेंशन, मतलब प्रोडक्ट का इन्वेंट किया आपने तो प्रोडक्ट को आप कर लेते हैं भाई। पर प्रोडक्ट का इन्वेंशन बहुत कम होता है। जैसे कि आपने कहा कि जब टॉर्टोइज कॉइल बनी थी, तो जो टॉर्टोइज कॉइल बनी इट वाज एन इन्वेंशन। जो मैच बॉक्स में माचिस बनी, तो माचिस वाज एन इन्वेंशन। ठीक है, फर्स्ट टाइम किसी ने कहा कि सिगरेट में ऐसे लपेट कर उसमें अंदर टोबैको भर देते हैं और उसमें फ्रंट में उसमें फायर लगाएंगे और उसको धीरे धीरे स्मोक करेंगे, एज कम्पेयर टू हुक्का। हुक्का ये ना, हुक्का गुड़ 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 करता है, जो उसमें भी तो वो टोबैको डाल के उसमें पानी से फिल्टर्ड वो लेते हैं, इनहेल करते हैं। तो किसी ने स्मोकिंग का ये सिस्टम है। तो सिगरेट वाज एन इन्वेंशन। ठीक है, एक्सरे मशीन वाज एन इन्वेंशन, स्टेथोस्कोप वाज एन इन्वेंशन, थर्मामीटर वाज एन इन्वेंशन। ठीक है, ये तो जैसे शार्पनर वाज एन इन्वेंशन, नेल कटर वाज एन इन्वेंशन। इतने सारे इन्वेंशन ही हुए ना सारे। तो देयर कैन बी प्रोडक्ट इन्वेंशन, देयर कैन बी टेक्नोलॉजी इन्वेंशन, देयर कैन बी प्रोसेस इन्वेंशन। जैसे आपकी ये होता है वेल्डिंग सिस्टम है। पहले था कि गैस वेल्डिंग थी, फिर बाद में पहले इलेक्ट्रिकल वेल्डिंग थी, बाद में उस जमाने में गैस नहीं होती थी, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी थी, इलेक्ट्रिकल वेल्डिंग। तो इट इज ए सिस्टम ऑफ पुटिंग टू थिंग्स टुगेदर। सिस्टम है ये, इट इज प्रोसेस ऑफ जॉइनिंग टू मेटालिक पार्ट्स। तो दैट वाज देन इलेक्ट्रिक वेल्डिंग के बाद में किसी ने कि वी कैन आल्सो हैव गैस वेल्डिंग। तो गैस वेल्डिंग का सिस्टम बनाया। तो दैट वाज ए प्रोसेस। So process can be there, technology can be there, product can be there for patenting. Okay, this is clear to everybody now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
तो जो आपको अगर आपने जिस कंट्री में पेटेंट किया है उसी कंट्री में आपको उसका वो मिलेगा पेटेंट राइट, जहां पे आपको ग्रांट हुआ है। ठीक है, और जहाँ पे ग्रांट नहीं हुआ, आपने अप्लाई नहीं किया, ग्रांट नहीं हुआ, वहाँ पे नहीं मिलेगा। तो ये 3-4 स्लाइड्स में मेरे को 5 मिनट और दो, देखो हमने काफ़ी और चीज़ें डिस्कस कर ली। It is important for promoting innovations. For IPR सिस्टम होता है तो आप प्रमोट होती है इनोवेशंस। क्यों होते हैं ये? बिकॉज आपको मालूम है कि अगर आपने ज़्यादा R&D में खर्च किया और आपके कोई ज़्यादा अच्छी इनोवेशन और इन्वेंशन निकली, तो यू कैन मेक मोर मनी बिकॉज नोबडी एल्स कैन कॉपी इट विदाउट योर परमिशन. So you can, because of the monopoly rights given to you, so you will make more money, and for making more money you will invest more in R&D. When you invest more in R&D, that will improve more invention, that will improve the quality of life, and that is the ultimately system, that how the quality of life is improved with more research and development, leading to more inventions, leading to more patent, leading to more leading to a better quality of life. आपके पास पहले मोबाइल नहीं था, एयर कंडीशनर नहीं थे, लिफ्ट नहीं थी, एलिवेटर्स नहीं थे, तो क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ कैसी थी? आज आप एयर कंडीशन में बैठ जाते हो तो यू फील मोर कंफर्टेबल, यू कैन डू मोर वर्क। और गर्मी ज़्यादा होगी तो आपको नींद आती है, और थोड़ा सा कि टेम्परेचर को आप उसको कम कर लेंगे, 23, 22, 24 पे कर लेंगे तो हल्की हल्की सी सर्दी लगती रहती है, आपको नींद नहीं आती, यू कैन डू मोर वर्क, एफिशिएंसी बढ़ जाती है। तो ये सब चीज़ें जो हैं, इन्वेंशंस हैं, इनसे क्या आपकी क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ इंप्रूव होती है। नई न्यू ड्रग्स आर इन्वेंटेड, जिसे जो वैक्सीन ऑफ कोविड के लिए जो वैक्सीन आया, कोवैक्सीन एंड कोविड शील्ड, और वो इतने सारे जो वैक्सीन निकले हैं, तो इन्वेंशन इज बेसिकली इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर इम्प्रूविंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ ऑफ पीपल, अल्टी फॉर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, and the ecosystem improvement is very important. So it is the purpose of IPR system is that it should promote inventions. We want the promotion inventions, more inventions, and then better R&D culture through better science and technology management, better utilization of national resources, financial, human biodiversity, and all that. Now, just a few things. Is science education in Indian schools. This is NUEPA, now it is NEPA. मैं नीपा ही रहने देता हूँ, ये हटा ही देता है नीपा। IIT के एडजेसेंट है ये NCERT कैंपस में। पहले ये नीपा था, NIEPA, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशनल प्लानिंग एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। बाद में इसका नाम कर दिया इन्होंने नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी, NU, नेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन प्लानिंग एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। अभी 3 साल पहले गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने कहा कि जो डीम्ड टू बी यूनिवर्सिटी हैं, दे कैन नॉट राइट यूनिवर्सिटी इन देयर नेम, सो नूपा अगेन बिकेम नीपा, नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट, इन्होंने यूनिवर्सिटी नाम कर लिया था। इट इज एडजेसेंट टू IIT। हमारी बाउंड्री वॉल मिलती है इनसे, नीपा से। दिस इज ऑन द बैक साइड ऑफ NCERT। सो नीपा की फाइंडिंग में आया था सेकेंडरी स्कूल इन इंडिया, वेयर ये 2010-11 का डेटा इसे 24 स्टेट्स में 6 to 50% schools have science labs. 5 states में 50 to 60% schools have science labs. 3 states में 60 to 70% schools have science labs. Only 2 states have 70% to 90% schools have science labs, and only 1 union territory has 100% schools which have science labs. There was a survey in 204,000 schools in the states and UTs.
Sir, can you talk about like which are these 2-3 states?
अब वो इसकी वेबसाइट पे देख लेना है, मिल जाएगा। ठीक है, कौन सी
Okay, sir.
ना ये मतलब इट इज जस्ट टू गिव यू अ लिटिल फील ऑफ इट कि इंडिया में साइंस एजुकेशन कितनी कम है। 24 स्टेट्स हैं जिनमें 6% से 50%, लेस देन हाफ द स्कूल्स है, और इसका एवरेज निकाला है 25% स्कूल्स। 75% स्कूल 24 स्टेट्स में है ही नहीं जिनमें कोई साइंस लैब। तो जस्ट हमारे यहाँ पे मतलब सब कुछ होता है, पर एजुकेशन ही डिसरिगार्डेड रहती है यहाँ पे। दैट वाज जस्ट टू गिव यू। और ये 2 लाख से ज़्यादा के स्कूलों का सर्वे है पूरे इंडिया का, एंड देयर नीड टू इंट्रोड्यूस IPR एजुकेशन ऑल द स्कूल्स। दूसरा इस स्लाइड को डेटा जो रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट के ऊपर है, परसेंटेज शेयर इन ग्रॉस इन्वेस्टमेंट इन रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट इन 2009-10, ये है सेक्टर इसमें है कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का जो टोटल R&D एक्सपेंडिचर इंडिया में, उस टोटल R&D एक्सपेंडिचर का 54.4% इज बाय द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, 28.9% इज इन द बाय द प्राइवेट सेक्टर. बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज हैं, दे हैव देयर ओन R&D लैब्स. एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का इसमें जो है इन्वेस्टमेंट शेयर है 7.3%. And public sector undertakings also have some R&D. They have got 5.4%, and higher education institutions like IITs, universities, 4.1%. तो ये इनका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है. और गवर्नमेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट इन R&D जो इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं उनमें DRDO इसका 31.6% है रिसर्च में, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ स्पेस 15.5%, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एटॉमिक एनर्जी 14.4%, Indian Council of Agricultural Research 10.8%, CSIR 10.0%, and Department of Science and Technology 8.3%. तो ये हमारे यहाँ का इंडिया का जो बैकअप है. अब पेटेंट्स हैं, I will just take one slide and again show you the same slide next time because it is very important. You should keep it in mind. And I'll stop after this. What is patent? It is a right on first disclosure of an invention. You don't disclose your invention to public, to media, or to your friends, or any person who is your, ex-boss or future boss, जहाँ पे आप जॉब चाहते हैं. तो मैंने ये इन्वेंशन कर दिया, एक बार में बता दिया आपने, और किसी ने कहा कि तो हमें पहले से ही मालूम था, तो आपको पेटेंट ग्रांट नहीं होगा. तो पेटेंट का जो एप्लीकेशन होता है, जो in the application only you should disclose your patent for the first time in the application. So it is the right you get on basis of your first disclosure of an invention in the patent application. These are the conditions. It should be new, worldwide, novelty honi chahiye iski, non-obviousness. That means it should not be obvious. It should be inventive in character. And third is it should have utility, industrial application means utility. It should be useful. जो भी invention आप कहते हैं invention, it should be useful. And now it is going to be 326. I will stop here and continue from this slide in our next class. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Slides आपने
अभी अपलोड नहीं
किया.
किया. नहीं अभी मैं कुछ मॉडिफाई कर रहा था. मैं अभी है ना अपलोड नहीं किया मैंने. कर दूंगा.
Sir, she was asking a question like you didn't answer, like how do we know that like something has been patented?
हाँ, इसका है कि सारे पेटेंट डॉक्यूमेंट्स हर कंट्री के पब्लिश होते हैं. इंडिया का जो पेटेंट डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं जो कि पेटेंट हैं सारे, वो ऑफिशियल जर्नल ऑफ पेटेंट ऑफिस है, हर फ्राइडे को वो पब्लिश होता है. परसों फ्राइडे है ना, कल फ्राइडे है ना.
yes.
तो आईपी इंडिया वेबसाइट पे जाना और उसमें देखना, कल रात को 12 बजे के बाद में देख लेना, आपको मिल जाएगा, है ना. ऑफिशियल पेटेंट जर्नल, वो सारे पेटेंट्स का कुछ बोलते हैं जर्नल. इट इज नॉट ए जर्नल, बट इट्स नॉट एकेडमिक जर्नल नहीं है, बट उसका नाम उन्होंने दिया है कि ऑफिशियल जर्नल ऑफ पेटेंट ऑफिस ऑफ इंडिया. तो इसमें वो जितने पेटेंट ग्रांट हो रहे हैं और वो विच आर रेडी टू बी ग्रांटेड, उन सबका इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगी इसमें. ठीक है. तो हर फ्राइडे को रात को पब्लिश करते हैं, और ऐसे ट्रेडमार्क का पब्लिश होता है हर फ्राइडे को. तो उसमें सारी मिल जाती है. हर कंट्री का एक कंट्री का पेटेंट ऑफिस होता है. हर कंट्री का पेटेंट ऑफिस डिफरेंट नामों से उसको पब्लिश करता है, अपने अपने हिसाब से. फ्रीक्वेंसी अपनी अपनी हो सकती है. कहीं पर ये हर सैटरडे को करते हैं, कहीं पर हर मंडे को करते हैं. तो अलग अलग कंट्रीज में अलग अलग तरीके से उसको पीरियोडिसिटी है और उसका नाम है. हर कंट्री का पेटेंट ऑफिस अपने कंट्री के पेटेंट्स को वो करता है, पब्लिश करता है. सो दैट पेटेंट एग्जामिनर कैन सी दैट इट इज नॉवेल्टी है. सारे वर्ल्ड के सारे कंट्री के पेटेंट डेटा एक्सेसिबल है उन लोगों को, और उससे वो देखते हैं कि इज इट इसमें नॉवेल्टी है या नहीं है ना. इसको बोलते हैं पेटेंट सर्च. ठीक है. सो विल कंटिन्यू फ्रॉम दिस. ओके.
Okay, sir.
Any other question by anyone?
So I have one question which is not exactly IPR question. So, like you spoke about private limited company, so it can be अगर bare basic जो minimum qualify उसका number of directors रखा जाए तो that is 2. So if somebody starts like a startup starts a company, so what my experience says or whatever my knowledge,
that is a partnership.
directors,
Partnership company में 2 होता है.
सर LLP और डायरेक्टर्स इसमें प्राइवेट कंपनीज में भी 2 मिनिमम वन कैन स्टार्ट विद 2. सर
2 से 5 होते हैं, 2 से 5.
हाँ यस सर. सो तो उनका भी तो अगर कोई स्टार्टअप की तरह somebody is taking it as a startup, so they are already cash starved या very little cash they have. So now there are so many formalities, and if the same is registered with MCA, इतनी सारी उसकी formalities and paperwork is there that year round they are filing papers, this return, that return. Even if the company has zero earnings, the number of papers, number of formalities to be completed is so much, and they need to have a CA right from the day the company is registered. A CA charges lot of money. अगर वो घर का CA नहीं है तो बहुत सारा पैसा लेता है जितना कि कंपनी अर्न भी नहीं करती है. तो what is the solution to this very practical problem?
I tell you that जो स्टार्टअप्स हैं उनसे जो CA पैसा लेगा वो बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं लेगा, क्योंकि जो CA जो है उसका एडवाइजरी रोल ज़्यादा है, डे टू डे फंक्शनिंग होगा, कोई ज़्यादा इंटरवेंशन नहीं है. ठीक है. तो जो एडवाइजरी रोल वाला CA होता है उससे आप ब्रॉडली है कि हर हफ्ते में 15 दिन में 1 महीने में मिलने जल्दी उनकी बात कर लें. तो ही इज यू नो वन ऑफ द एडवाइजरी रोल वाला आदमी है, वो कंसल्टेंट रख लें उसको, आप रिटेनरशिप पे रख सकते हैं उसको, क्योंकि आपको हम 10,000 रुपीज़ देंगे हर महीने के या 5,000 रुपीज़ देंगे, आप हमें 3-4 घंटे हमसे बात कर लो कभी हमारे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व. ठीक है. तो इट इज़ नॉट अ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव प्रोपोजिशन. अच्छा, अकाउंटेंट भी आपको नहीं रखना रोजाना के लिए फुल टाइम स्टार्टअप को. आपके खर्चे कितने होंगे, आप कहीं गए आए ट्रेवल किया कुछ किया आपने, वही हुए ना. आपका मतलब बहुत ज्यादा तो जब तक आप फुल फ्लेजेड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग चालू नहीं होता बड़े स्केल पर, हाँ सर, तब तक आपके खर्चे बहुत लिमिटेड हैं. तो वो जो खर्चे यहाँ पे बिल रख लिए उनके अपने जेब से खर्च करके, और जब आपके पास इकट्ठा हो गया वो तो आपने उसको महीने में 1 दिन बढ़ा ली, कोई ये आप अच्छा खुद ही उसको मेंटेन कर लो ना डेट वाइज उस ऑर्डर में. तो उनको वो अपने कैटेगरी वाइज डाल देगा. भाई आपका ट्रैवल का है, ये एंटरटेनमेंट का है, ये आपका किसी और चीज का है जो कुछ है, या आपको प्रोटोटाइप बनाना है आपको किसी चीज का, तो उसका तो वो है कि वो R&D में डाल देगा. तो 4-5 हेड में खुद ही डाल देगा. अकाउंटेंट जो अकाउंटेंट क्या होता है जो वो भी होगा अकाउंट्स का आदमी, तो महीने में 1 दिन आके आपको 3-4 घंटे में सारा काम कर जाएगा आपका. ठीक है. तो आपको बहुत ज्यादा अपनी लायबिलिटीज नहीं पालनी चाहिए स्टार्टअप्स को. और आपको ये नहीं कि मेरा बड़ा कमरा होगा, उसमें बड़ी गाड़ी होगी, बड़ा एयर कंडीशन होगा और बड़ी टेबल होगी गोदरेज की 1 लाख रुपए वाली और 25,000-30,000 रुपए की चेयर होगी. तो आप जितना ज्यादा पैसा इन्वेस्ट कर देंगे इसमें खर्च कर देंगे, आपको हर चीज का इंटरेस्ट देना पड़ेगा. आपने मान लीजिएगा कि 50 लाख रुपए खर्च कर दिए अपनी सेटिंग फर्निशिंग में, तो उसका जो 5 लाख रुपए का तो वैसे ही इंटरेस्ट हो गया उसका 5-7 लाख रुपए का साल का. तो आपको है कि ये जो लाइबिलिटीज ही बढ़ानी है अपने को, आपका अनप्रोडक्टिव खर्चों को मिनिमम रखना है, सक्सेसफुल होना है. ठीक है. डोंट इंक्रीज योर अनप्रोडक्टिव एक्सपेंसेस. प्रोडक्टिव एक्सपेंसेस तो आपको ग्रो करना ही करेंगे आप. ठीक है ना. तो दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. और इज इट योर क्वेश्चन आंसर्ड? तो वो जो है ना कि अच्छा, इसीलिए ये होता है कि जब जो पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म बनाते हैं ना, और जो लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप होती है, तो जो चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स वैसे होते हैं थोड़ा सा फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग होते हैं कि यार हम भी एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाएंगे, तो उनको मालूम है कि वो सीए वाला काम तो खुद ही कर लेंगे वो. तो वो उनके पास पैसा भी होता है, वो पैसा भी लगाते हैं अपना, और वो है कि 25% की साझेदारी कर लेते हैं. तो वो है कि जो टोटल प्रॉफिट होगा, मान लीजिए आपका 1 करोड़ को 25 लाख उसका है, तो वो अपना लॉन्ग टर्म का देखता है ना कि मेरे को इसमें मेरी जो कॉम्पिटेंस है वो बाकी लोगों में ऑडिट करने में जाती है, मैं अपनी मतलब कंपनी का वो बन जाऊंगा, तो उसमें है कि सारे अपने हिसाब से उनके सारे सिस्टम चालू कर लेंगे. तो जितनी भी जो पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म होती है उनमें ज्यादातर ये पाया जाता है कि एक उनमें से चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट होता है, एक वन ऑफ द पार्टनर्स, जिससे कि आपको पैसा खर्च नहीं करना पड़ेगा. तो उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, मतलब घबराने की कोई बात नहीं होती इसमें, है ना? It is you are getting into an unknown this thing, but what you are getting into unknown boundary or domain or space, so that is not a that is I mean, if you have good course on entrepreneurship, आपका जो सारा fear निकल जाएगा, है ना? आपको सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज है कि आपका जो क्या कर रहे हो आप, उसका डिमांड कितना है, बस। द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट पैरामीटर जो डिमांड आपका, यू शुड हैव गुड वे टू जज कि उसका डिमांड कितना होगा। तो उसके लिए कि प्रोजेक्ट आइडिया और वेंचर आइडिया जनरेशन की मेथोलॉजी होती है, थ्योरी होती है, उसकी एग्जांपल्स होती हैं, उसका सारा सिस्टम होता है जो कि एंटरप्रेन्योर कोर्स में आपको पढ़ लेना चाहिए, पढ़ा दिया जाता है, या इंटरनेट का आजकल देख लो कहीं पर भी। ठीक है?
यस।
चलो, ओके देन।
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, बाय।
बाय।
Thank you, sir.